You wonder what happened in sports today. Brandon PETRILLI, he got the wave. We talking a lot with bros today. Cracking some jokes the podcast way. Goals on goals, with homers on homers. Tutties on tutties, got moments on moments. Just tune into BSP. Just tune into BSP. Just tune into BSP. Just tune into PETRILLI.
Going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the BSP podcast. I am your host, Brendan PETRILLI. Hope everybody's been enjoying the content we've been putting out there. Make sure you go and check out the channel below. Links are below. Go check it all out. Been doing a lot of awesome vlogs with 97.5 The Fanatic, and just trying to put as much content as you want to see. Let me know in the comments what else. We got a lot of fun things coming up. Going to be going to a lot of Phillies games moving forward here throughout the summer, so I'm planning on doing a bunch of vlogs. Maybe we can do some meetups, hang out with people. If anybody wants to hop on the pod, I know I got my boy Andrew Snyder from college. He works for the PGA Tour. We're going to be doing a breakdown of a little preview for the Masters coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. Click that subscribe button. Now, today's episode, it's going to be a little hectic because, of course, I'm a huge baseball fan, right? Love baseball. I'm going to talk a little World Baseball Classic. Got a couple things in there that I'm excited about watching this. I know a lot of people haven't been totally in on it, but I've had a lot of fun watching it. I think there's a lot of great things that can come away from the World Baseball Classic. And of course, the mayhem, the roller coaster rides that have been going on in NFL free agency, especially for your Philadelphia Eagles. Because, man, I mean, dude, like, you got guys wanting to leave. You think nobody's going to come back. Everybody's freaking out. We're going to lose everybody. And now all of a sudden we're back to square one, except we're waiting on one guy. So let's get into it in 1 second here. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Because, man, I don't know where to start. Do we start where we're at? I'm recording this at 11:45 p.m. last night on the 15th. And because I was waiting for this news for the most part. I also recorded a Cold One Conversations. Make sure you go check that out. The link's in below with my boy Harry Heaps, where we talked about everything in the world of NFL free agency. But this is a Philly podcast, if you haven't noticed that already. But so go check that out if you want a little bit more in depth of the rest of the NFL. But for this year, I don't know whether to start with how it started, how it's going, or where we're up to now. I think what we're going to do, right, let's set the stage from the beginning. We all knew the Eagles had a bunch of free agents going into this offseason, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You go and you start out the gates, you lose the boys, your two linebackers. Fine. Edwards, Kaiser White, see you later. Thank you guys so much. Played awesome. I wish you could keep one of them, just not in the cards. The Eagles have never really paid linebackers. Saw that last year. Why you had those two. They were able to get them for cheap, and that's why they've been able to blossom into great players. Saw it with Alex Singleton and other guys, Hicks and everybody else moving forward. They draft guys, they play special teams, they move up the ranks in the linebackers, and then they let them go and get paid. In comes Nakobe Dean now. That's my boy. Shout out the boy. It's our time to shine. Check me out on social media at Twitter at Brendan PETRILLI and Instagram and everything else. Make sure you go give it a follow there. But, posting the picture of me and the boy Nakobe, because it's our time to shine. Because he's going to get in there. He's going to get massive reps. He's going to be that single caller unless they go get another guy. I don't think so. I think they're more likely bank on like a Davion Taylor to get more reps, who's been kind of banged up over the past couple years that they took in the third round a couple years ago. Or they're going to draft another guy and make it work, or sign a free agent like he did with Kaiser White, who got cut in training camp. So we're going to have to wait to fill that hole. And they're going to strike when the iron's hot. Guy's going to get cut. Veteran player, bang, $2 million, come play for us. He'll be our starter. I think that's where they're going with that, right? Then, after that, you lose Javon Hargrave. You knew it was going to happen because, well, in my book, I would have thought he was going to be the guy that got paid. And then they were going to let everybody else walk, all the secondary guys walk, because the way the Eagles have been drafting, the way they've signed guys, it's through the trenches, right? So that offensive, defensive line, I thought he was going to be the guy that got paid, but he got paid astronomical money. D tackles, crazy amount of money. $85 million, couple years. The biggest part of that hurts is that it was to the San Francisco 49ers. Because those guys have been such babies and little bitches, whiny bitches that I get it. Players, it really doesn't matter as much, but you would have thought, like, looking to see all those guys, how much they've been complaining and just how that team chemistry, that team is just, it's individuals out there. You would have thought, hey, maybe I can get that money somewhere else. But hey, money talks. Good for you, Javon. I hope you yourself do well, but the rest of that team go fuck themselves. So that hurt a little bit, right? But how he goes and responds. Everybody's kind of freaking out. You lose those guys out the rip. You lose Marcus Epps. Oh my God, Marcus Epps. It's fine. It's fine. Now, we still haven't gotten CJ Gardner-Johnson yet, as I'm recording this right now. So we'll see. If we lose him, we'll get to him in a second. But then we can start to worry about that safety position. But Marcus Epps, solid player. Another one of those guys, just like those linebackers, brought up, drafted, undrafted free agent, I believe, worked his way up, and he's made him way into a very quality starting safety in the league. Now you got a guy like a Reed Blankenship that everybody loves. So now I'm not expecting a lot from him. I'm not expecting a lot, and I haven't, of Marcus Epps this past year and a half now, right? So you lose him. That's just casualties of having such a good team, guys playing in a good system on a good team that teams overpay and value because they saw what they could do. Now we'll see where he does moving forward at being not the guy, but one of the guys now on a defense where he's not the 8th, 9th, 10th guy on the defense, right? So we'll see. Everybody's freaking out about that stuff. What are we going to do? We're losing everybody. We're getting pillaged. Everybody's leaving. Say deep breaths. Deep breaths. Oh, Andre Dillard. He's gone too. Why wasn't anybody freaking out about Andre Dillard going to the Tennessee Titans? But then, settled in. You saw James Bradberry go, test out the market a little bit, put his toes in the water, see what's going on, and realized I can still get my money here. I can play in a system that I know and I like, a team, a city where I just played with, went to a Super Bowl with, still get a decent amount of money and be comfortable, and I'll stay here, and I'm going to run it back. I think he still has that chip on his shoulder with that last play, that call. And he wants to prove that he's still that guy, and he is. He's getting paid to be that guy. But he took a discount. He did 100%, $12.5 million. He could have got 15 plus. You see a guy like Slay trying to get 17 again, right? Guys are getting money all over the place, but he comes back. I think that market wasn't there that he thought it was going to be. He realized the difference of the money is probably $1 million or $2 million. Rather come back, play for where he just wanted to run. He sees that it's still there, and we're good to go. Then you get guys even before that, like Jason Kelce, Brandon Graham, guys that are lifers. Fletcher Cox now late yesterday, coming back, 1-year deals, run it back. They see what we have with Jalen. And during this whole thing, right, where you're losing guys, talking with Todd, my boss at the Fanatic for promotions, he's freaking out. Oh my God, who do you have on defense? I don't care. I don't care who we have on defense because I knew you'd bring some guys back. I knew you could piece it together. There's always those veterans, those middle of the road guys that you can kind of piece together a defense as long as you have the main parts. You had Hassan Reddick, you got Josh Sweat, you got Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, Nakobe Dean. You had Slay, right? But he was up in the air by last Friday. But he's back. He's back. What a fucking crazy couple days with him and his wife on Twitter, and we'll get to that in a minute. But as long as you had those main pieces, you can fill around those guys. You're never going to be completely deep. What we had last year was such a rarity of how deep and how good every single position was. You really didn't have a down spot. That never happens in the NFL on a defense. When has that ever happened, right? So looking through it, you knew you were gonna downgrade guys. People are gonna leave. I was happy with where they're at. They've been able to fill those holes, get your guys back, and now we'll see moving forward where you pick up the pieces now of what's left off. But at the end of the day, you have Jalen Hurts, you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, you had Lane Johnson, you have Jordan Mailata, Cam Jurgens, and all these guys, and Kelce comes back. You let Sayamalu go. Dickerson's still there. That offense is intact. The defense, you piece together and you figure it out, and that's what they've done. You got one more piece that they got to go get. So I was never in a panic when it came to this offseason. because I knew you had that offense. As long as you have that offense, we saw in the Super Bowl, defense, it's not going to win championships anymore. It just isn't. It's going to be the offense. The defense has got to make a play on either side, it's good or bad, right? So that's when it comes down to it. And then you bring in Bradberry, you got Fletch, you got BG. And then last Friday, right, middle out of nowhere, Slay's looking for restructure his deal, looking to get more money, get an extension. Now, as I'm recording this right now, I haven't seen the money of what's going on, but, they're saying that the agent can go and get and look out a trade, right? They can go look and seek out a trade and try to find something if he could find the money elsewhere. He was looking for 3 years guaranteed, supposedly. And the last couple of days, there's talks the Eagles are just going to cut it. Darius Slay and the Eagles can't figure it out. They're just going to cut ties with them, try to save 17 mil. But they never said, I was talking with Harry on Cold One Conversation. Make sure you go check that out too and subscribe there. But I was talking with Harry. They never said today on Wednesday that he was cut. The June 1st, designated for June 1st cut to save that 17 mil. And we were recording this way before Schefter and they were tweeted that all out at 11, right? And he just had a feeling that it was always, when that didn't happen, that there's a possibility that they could figure it out. But you got Slay retweeting other players. Where should I go? See you later, Philly. It was nothing, nothing personal. Where am I going next? Liking other players. The wife saying, I love you, Philly, but we'll see you later. Eyeball emojis here and there. What the fuck? I'm ready to go off on him, right? Say he's not a winner. Go get your money. There's no problem with getting your money, but just know that you're a loser, that you never won before you got to Philadelphia. That go ahead, get that money, and go win 6 games with Atlanta or wherever you were going to go. Because that's what's going to happen. And then they circled back around. They realized that 3 years guaranteed at 32 years of age wasn't there. Now, I'm happy to have Darius back. I'm not complaining or anything. I'm not trying to talk down on him because I think he's a very high-level cornerback in this league, and I did not want to let him go. But if it happened, it happened. That's just the nature of the business. He said it himself. That's the way it goes. But I'm ready to go off. Everybody's going off on him. People are burning bridges. And now he's back. Well, he never left. So it's just funny to see how things transpire now. You got AJ Brown tweeting about what's his favorite fruit and veggie during all of it. CJ Gardner-Johnson, that we're going to talk about in 1 second, cryptic tweets too. Like, what's going on? Does this happen with other players in other cities? Maybe I'm just not as aware of it, obviously. I like to think I keep a pulse on the rest of the league, but I don't see any other players doing this kind of crap. What are we doing here? Why you got to give me a heart attack? Like, this team was one play away from winning a Super Bowl. Why are you trying to fuck with that? Why are you trying to leave? I get you want your money, but this is the time in your career you've gotten a bag. It's time to win, right? That's what a lot of guys say. That's what BG, Kelsey, and Fletcher doing. Why aren't you too, bro? Now I guess he is. The numbers haven't come out as I'm recording this right now. It's officially hit midnight on the new day. So we'll see. It'll probably come out today. But now it's on to the next one. The last guy we need to get on that defense, and then we'll be happy. You can't let CJ Gardner-Johnson walk out that door. Hopefully they figured out the money where Slay's happy, Cap's fine, and you look around at it and you got enough money that you can keep CJ now. If you can keep him, this defense is solid. You can go and you can fill in a blanket chip at the other spot. You can draft a guy. You're going to have to draft another corner. You still got Avonte Maddox, but they're going to have to get younger at that cornerback spot because Slay's definitely going to be on the move after this year for sure. Whether they straight up cut him and let him go at that point, but we'll have to see. So you'll have to get younger there. You got to get younger at that defensive line because you can't keep banking on Fletch, even though he had a great year. So we'll see. Maybe with that 10th pick, I want them to go D-line. Hopefully one of those big guys fall and you can kind of slide up in a 7 or 6 spot, with everybody trading up for quarterbacks. we'll talk about the draft a little later. But if you can keep CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's 26, young, anchor that, give him a 5-6 year deal to anchor that back end. He lays the boom. He can get you picks. He said it himself. If I didn't get hurt, with the rib thing from him getting hit, right? Him trying to lay the boom out too much, which happens, I could have got 12 picks. I totally think he could have. So you keep him. You keep the 2 DBs. You got a decent pass rush with Reddick and Sweat. Got BG still. You got good young defensive tackles that still have Fletch to mentor them. And then you piece it around after that with Nakobe Dean and that linebacking core. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. I hope everybody's been strapped in. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, right? That unfolds the next couple days here. What's next? You let me know what you think is next in the comment section below, because, I can see another trade. I can see them making a move for a pass rusher. I can see them going and signing a guy, making a trade for another elite pass rusher, because that's how they like to build it up. So we'll see. Maybe you can get a guy to take a pay cut again because they see that this team is ready and locked and ready to roll with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to be getting a deal, probably coming in with the next week or two. At least you hope, because you don't want a Lamar Jackson situation here in Philadelphia. Talk with the boy Harry on Call One Conversations. It's stressful. You don't want that to happen. Give Jalen the money. Hopefully they can come to an agreement where it's not crazy. It's good for both sides. Both sides see the opportunities at hand, where that's kind of what Harry and I talked about, why that Lamar situation went so bad. Lamar just wanted the money, which he's rightful to, and kind of with Slay, I kind of bringing it full circle, right? You want that money as a player. You want to make the most of it as you can. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you got to look team-wise also. Do you want to win? Do you want other guys around you that make you better? If you do that, you got to figure out that common ground where you're happy with the money, the team can make things work around you. And that's where this Jalen Hurts contract situation is going to land. I think Jalen is that guy. He's that leader. He's that dude that sees that. He gets it a little bit. Listening to him talk, he's hungry. All he's about is winning. He will get his money, and he's going to get it. So at the end of the day, I think they'll figure it out coming up in the next weeks. Let me know what you guys think he's going to get. Do you think he gets over 200 mil? I think so. He'll get around there probably. It'll be interesting moving forward. Let me know in the comment section below. It's a lot out there, right? Shout out the boy at Philly Drinkers. Going to be St. Patrick's Day is coming up, right? Make sure you go check out the boys at Philly Drinkers. They got all the best drinkware, drinking apparel that you need. So go check them out, because, man, you want to look good when you feel like, just like you're playing in the NFL, when you're drinking, right? You want to look good, feel good, and you'll drink good, So have some fun with it responsibly this St. Patrick's Day. Go check it out. PhillyDrinkers.com/Brendan Petrilli. Promo code at checkout for 10% off. But now, right, let's do a quick hard stop, and let's talk about the World Baseball Classic. I think we dove in. I think we covered it all, right, for the Eagles, for the most part at this point. But the World Baseball Classic, I know a lot of people haven't been into it because they've had the USA playing at 10 o'clock, 8, 9, late at night. Like, I get they're playing out in Arizona. But you got to have them on at 7, 6, 7, 7:30, prime time. Take over the NBA. Nobody cares about regular season NBA right now. You got the best players. You have the best players in the world all on a singular team playing together. You have one of the best lineups. You got a dream team lineup with Harper. Well, Harper would have been on the team, sorry. With Trout, with Betts, Schwarber, Turner, JT. You got just the lineup's so deep. And those guys are batting. The Phillies guys are batting late, but they're the catalyst. And the rest of the team is just so freaking good. And then you watch like the Dominican, Cuba, and these other Latino teams play. They're just having so much fun. Go check out the Wonton Don from Barstool. Like, they went to the Dominican Republic for the World Series down there, and that's exactly what that is, how they watch baseball games, and they're bringing that to Miami for the World Baseball Classic. They need the Marlins and the MLB need to hone in on that. They need to hone in on the excitement of how they're winning 10-0, right? And they're mercy ruling these teams, and guys are scoring like a 6th run coming around. They're busting their ass, shirts flying, chains are flying everywhere, and they're coming up, slapping everybody's out the dugout, high-fiving, having a good time. Like, they need to hone that and bring that to the Marlins or something to the MLB and make it more fun like that. Everybody's in the stands with drums, fucking going crazy. Nobody's sitting down, and it's a fun way to watch baseball. It doesn't have to be get the ball and strike. No, get the crowd going. Make it more fun. Like, let people do that kind of things. Like, it's electric, man. Let the passion of the game flow through every game. And that's what makes it fun to watch. Now, on the U.S. side of the ball, you can see the differences, right? You can see how the U.S., it's just the salute. It's a good, I like it. For the troops, give a nice little, we're out here battling for you. But get the U.S. needs to get the Captain America freaking shield in the dugout, and somebody hit it with the bat after a home run, or the Thor's hammer. Get the guys going a little bit. Just involve a little something. They got the sombreros, and the masks on the Dominican and Cuba side of it. Get something more exciting for this team, because it's been electric to watch. I hope people tune in as we move forward throughout now, as we're moving out of the round robin stages of it, where it comes down to it now. All these teams have lineups. They got hitters galore, and we've seen it. A lot of big blowouts. Nobody's really had pitching. So it's going to be exciting, especially when it comes to the U.S. That's probably going to be their biggest downfall. They have the lineup. Just whether the pitching is going to be able to hold together and keep guys within under 8 runs, and let the bats take over. So you're going to see some shootouts. You're going to see some fireworks. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a shame now, kind of bring it back in late last night, right as I was before I recorded this, Mets pitcher Edwin Diaz, all that celebrating, everybody's jumping on top of him, gets carted off the mound after a win, I believe, with an Achilles or an ACL. It looks like. Yeah, you gotta control how much fun you're having. That's just such a fluke thing, and it stinks. I'm sorry for Edwin. It's a shame for that to happen. Obviously, you never want to root for injuries, and it's a shame. I don't know what else to say about it, right? Fuck the Mets. Fuck the Mets. You never root for injuries. I wasn't rooting for anybody to get hurt. Fuck the Mets. Now, was Edwin Diaz going to have such an electric year that he had last year? No, probably not, because it's so hard. He was so good last year. It's hard to repeat that. Now, obviously, you don't want anybody to get hurt, and that's going to really derail it. But he was such an up and down pitcher, and he found that stride, and it's such a shame to have such a legit arm and the best closer in the game go out like that. We'll have to see moving forward, X-rays and MRIs coming, but it's going to be a fun ride moving forward with the baseball season. And I hope you guys tune in a little bit more to the World Baseball Classic in the next week or two here, as it starts to really amp up, move through the knockout stages, because I've had a lot of fun watching it. It's literally the best players all just in these lineups hitting. You got guys like Mike Trout hitting in front of Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber, and Schwarber hits an absolute moonshot, and everybody, the three, JT, Turner, and Trout, are hanging out there. Hey, boys, your goal for this World Baseball Classic, I don't care if you guys win, talk with Mike. Say, Mike, you've tried it out there. It's time to come home, buddy. It's time to come home to Philadelphia. And the Phillies ship everything we got. Go ahead, give him Painter. I don't care. He's a stud. He's been dealing with a little elbow problems. Give it. I'll take Mike Trout for the next 3 years and win a couple World Series and go on a run here. We'll see how that take lies moving forward. But I want to thank everybody out there for watching this episode. Hit a couple different things in this. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We'll see moving forward. The roller coaster ride continues of the monster, the beast, which is the NFL and the Philadelphia Eagles. And we move forward with the Sixers coming up with a big win last night. I didn't even really talk about them. I was recording stuff all night. I saw they were losing by 10 plus. I know Holden, like I was telling you last episode, was freaking out, and they end up winning by 6 plus. So just watch those last 9 minutes of the regular season games right now. That's all you need to watch. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Check out Cold One Conversations also be coming out with a vlog later this week. I think probably on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be at the Irish Horn in Southampton for an Irish St. Patrick's Day live broadcast. Is going to be a good time. So come check us out there. Hang out with me. Feel free to DM me. Hit me up in the comment section below what you guys think the Eagles' next move is. Excited for the Phillies. What's going on with the Sixers? Are we all in? We're going to have to do a podcast with them. Do a little golf talk, too, in a couple weeks here also. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out to 215. Go Birds.